Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're dealing with any kind of data today, you already know Excel is absolutely everywhere. But today, we're taking a fascinating journey to see how we can transform the top 20 most useful Excel formulas of 2026 from a dry, intimidating list into a highly accessible, powerful toolkit. Whether you're wrangling finances, managing a massive business, or honestly, just trying to organize your life, these formulas are the key to solving incredibly complex data problems with just a few keystrokes.
But let me ask you something, and think about it for a second. Are you really unlocking its full potential? Millions of us use Excel every single day, but so often we just treat it like a simple digital grid to type numbers into. But behind that grid, there is a literal powerhouse of automation. We're going to discover how to transition from a casual user caught up in endless, mind-numbing data entry to a hyper-efficient power user. We are basically turning your spreadsheet into an intelligent assistant. Okay, let's dive right into this.
Now, to prevent formula overwhelm, we've structured things carefully. We've organized these 20 essential functions into 5 logical toolboxes. We'll start with quick tips, hit essential math and stats, jump into logic and lookups, tackle text manipulation, and finish up with dates and pro tips.
All right, Section 1, the power of Excel. Quick tips for ground rules.
Before we get to the heavy hitters, we really need to set up some foundational habits. First and foremost, you've always got to start every equation with an equal sign. It's how you tell Excel, hey, wake up, do some work for me. Next, try to drop the mouse. Use the F2 key to quickly jump into a cell and edit your formulas. It is a massive time saver once you get used to it. Also, remember that modern Excel supports dynamic arrays. This is practically magic. It means one formula can calculate multiple results and automatically spill them across your sheet. Oh, and all that magic is great, but we need a safety net, right? Anticipate mistakes by wrapping your work in the IFAR function. That way, you catch those ugly divide by zero errors before they ruin your whole view.
Moving right along to Section 2, Essential Math and Stats. This is where we build the foundation.
What's really wild here is the sheer flexibility of this program. Take the exact same set of 5 numbers, 100, 200, 150, 300, and 250. With just a tiny tweak in your vocabulary, you get completely different insights. Use sum, and bam, you instantly know the total is 1,000. Swap that out for average, and you find the arithmetic mean is 200. Need to know the extremes? Max pulls out that 300, and min isolates the 100. It's just 4 fundamental functions, but they instantly summarize your data.
But here's the crucial part. You have to understand how Excel actually views your messy data. Take a look at the difference between count and count A. If you have a column with 4 numbers, a random word of text, and a blank cell, count is super strict. It only tallies the numbers, giving you 4. But count A? That A essentially stands for all. It counts absolutely any non-empty cell, including that random text. Notice they both completely ignore the blank cell, though. Knowing which one of these to use is going to save you from some drastically inaccurate reports down the line. And to actually round out our math toolbox, yeah, pun entirely intended there, we've got the round function. Real-world data is almost never clean whole numbers. Round can take a long, messy decimal like 3.14159 and instantly snap it to exactly the precision you need. So a clean 3.14 for that professional financial report. Okay, Section 3, Logic and Data Lookups. This is where we start making smart data decisions.
This is the point where Excel stops being a glorified calculator and starts acting like a decision maker. The if function is your gateway to conditional logic. People think it's intimidating, but honestly, it just asks 3 simple questions. First, what's the test? Like, is the value in cell D1 greater than 10,000? Second, what should it say if that's true? Let's output the word high. And third, what if it's false? Output low. Boom, done. You've literally just automated categorizing thousands of rows of data based on your exact criteria.
And it gets better when we combine that logic with math. SUMIF and COUNTIF let you isolate really specific variables. Say we've got a bunch of sales from the north, south, and east. If we only care about analyzing the north region, SUMIF filters and adds up just the north numbers, 1,000, 1,500, and 2,500, giving us 5,000. COUNTIF, on the other hand, just tells us there were 3 separate transactions in the north. You ask a specific question, and Excel does the filtering and the math all at once.
Now let's talk lookups. Finding that needle in the data haystack. VLOOKUP is an absolute classic. We've all used it, but honestly, it's pretty rigid. It only searches vertically, and if someone accidentally inserts a new column into your data, yeah, the whole formula breaks. That is exactly why XLOOKUP is the modern, flexible replacement you need to be using. It searches in any direction. Left, right, up, down, doesn't matter. And the best part? If it doesn't find your data, you can tell it to gracefully output
not found, instead of completely destroying your sheet with those nasty NA errors. Next up, Section 4, Mastering Text Manipulation. Time to clean up the mess.
Because let's face it, when you import data, it's usually a chaotic disaster. Imagine the string Excel 2026 is just crammed all into one cell. With text functions, you can act like a surgeon and extract exactly what you need. Left pulls characters from the start, so grabbing the first 5 gives you Excel. Right grabs from the end, so the last 4 gives you 2026. And if the data you need is buried right in the center, mid lets you pick a precise starting point and slice it right out.
To further sanitize things, you absolutely need len and trim. Len simply counts the exact number of characters in a cell, including the spaces. So, hello world gets an 11. But what if someone was really sloppy with their typing? Trim acts like a magic broom. It beautifully strips away any accidental, invisible leading or trailing spacebars. If you don't use trim, those invisible spaces will completely break your lookups and your IF statements every single time.
On the flip side, what if you need to build text up rather than tear it down? Text join is going to be your best friend. Instead of manually typing out full names from separate first name, last name, and suffix columns, text join flawlessly stitches John, Doe, and Junior into one continuous string. You just pick what goes between them, like a space or a comma, and it even ignores empty cells for you automatically.
All right, our final stretch. Section 5, Dates, Times, and Pro Tips. This is about future-proofing your workflow.
Listen, timestamping your work shouldn't be a manual chore. If you need an invoice or a dashboard to always show the current date whenever it's opened, just type equals today, open parentheses, close parentheses. It updates automatically every single day. Need it to be even more precise? Use the now function. Excel will give you not just the date, but the exact hour and minute, and it updates constantly.
So, now that we've got all these individual tools, how do the real pros tie them together? Well, they don't just use them in isolation. They combine or nest them. Imagine putting a SUMIF inside an IF statement to say, hey, if the sum of North sales is greater than 1,000, output bonus. We also heavily recommend using the Insert Table feature. It turns confusing cell coordinates into readable names. And when things inevitably go wrong, dive into the formula auditing tools on the ribbon to visually trace exactly where your errors are coming from.
This brings us to a pretty powerful realization. Once you start treating Excel as a versatile, interconnected toolbox rather than just a digital grid, you're equipped to handle like 90% of your daily data tasks with absolute efficiency. You've officially graduated from tedious data entry to total data mastery.
So, I'll leave you with this thought. How many hours of your life have you surrendered to manual, repetitive spreadsheet work? Time you could have spent actually strategizing or innovating. The power to take that time back is quite literally at your fingertips right now. If your spreadsheet can be an intelligent assistant, what's stopping you from hiring it today? For more, visit our website, Ferris Solution.